I'm finally ready to talk about what happened and why I still have cancer after surgery. It's finally nice out. So I'm in Central Park right now and it's finally feeling like summer. Spoke to my oncologist today and there's really nothing more that I can do at this moment. She said, enjoy your life. It was really good advice because I do want to get another second and maybe third opinion at the Cancer Center for medical oncologists. Even though I like my medical oncologist, I do want to just see what someone else might say and just what other options they are going to be suggesting, even though I know that they're mostly going to be the same. I love my oncologist, but when she says something like, well, this facility will definitely do it this way, but you and I can talk about more about blah, blah, blah. I do think that, of course, everyone's biased towards their own facility and they have their specialists they work with. And that's why it's so good to have a multidisciplinary team, because you can still get referrals for second and third opinions from someone else. First thing my oncologist said when she called me after she saw my note was like, they fucked up. My lymph node tumor is still there. The breast surgeon didn't take it out like she was supposed to, and what happened is a little complicated. I had a radioactive seed marker placed into the breast tumor, which actually turned out to be two tumors, two small ones. I had a radioactive sentinel node mapping, so it was like a nuclear dye that's supposed to map out your lymph nodes. It sounded like my breast surgeon believes, and I believe, that the sentinel node mapping didn't map the cancerous tumor for some reason. A friend of mine is a surgeon and made it sound common. I don't know, like not super common, but he wasn't surprised. He explained that if the mapping didn't map out that lymph node, then she would not have seen it and taken it out. I was talking this through with another friend. Was thinking maybe it was positional. When I had the ultrasound that said very prominent axillary lymph node, I had my arm up like this for the ultrasound, but during your surgery, you're strapped in like Jesus, like to a cross, and maybe that positioning also contributed, considering that it wasn't mapped with the dye. I still feel like I made a very good choice with this surgeon, because ultimately I'm only going to have 4 lymph nodes removed, with the lymph node tumor being the 4th one being removed on the 27th. That will help me reduce the risk of lymphedema, which is a very serious concern. And I am going to consider asking the hospital to do a medical review after my second surgery, just to make sure that all protocols and processes were followed, so it doesn't happen to anyone else in case there was any mistake made. I also sent an email to my breast surgeon who did my implants, just for an extra perspective. I do just want to have some perspective that I'm still on the right track, and this is the benefit of having multiple providers that might be able to give you some guidance or just at least their perspective on what to make of it. My friend who worked at the Cancer Center also advised that you can have the chief surgeon, who is the chair likely of your surgeon, review your surgical plan along with your surgeon to make sure that everyone is on the same page with your care. Does this push back my treatment? Not necessarily. Got a couple of referrals to other medical oncologists. That could be difficult to get an appointment straight away, so that might be something I have to wait for anyway, in addition to the new pathology for my surgery. The question of my next step is also hinging on if I'm pre or postmenopausal. By lab results, I'm premenopausal, but because of my hysterectomy, I do have a lot of symptoms of what I believe to be genital urinary symptoms of menopause, which potentially could put me into postmenopause status. I made an appointment to see a urogynecologist who's in my insurance network. There aren't that many urogynecologists out there, apparently. My insurance just doesn't cover anyone, really. There was just this one doctor, so I'm going to have to pay out of pocket to see another specialist just so I have 2 opinions at least to help determine if I'm in menopause or perimenopause. So I really still have a few weeks to wait anyway. We'll at least not have spent the whole summer in cancer treatments. I'm able to just be outside a little bit. And I really need the sunshine. I really need to be outside sometimes. It's just been so dreary. Anyways, thank you for listening and being so supportive, guys. Sorry it took so long for this. There's just so much to process with everything that's going on, and keep you posted on the next part of my journey. Love you.